Well, today we have with us Nancy Cavey. We're very fortunate because she's an attorney for 36 years specializing in getting disabled people their insurance claims approved. Thank you so much for joining us, Nancy. Please tell us, there's so many different types of law. What made you specialize in getting people who have disabilities their claims approved?
My father owned an insurance brokerage business in Maryland, and after he came back from World War II and started this business, he purchased a disability insurance policy thinking he'd never need to have that policy. Well, unfortunately, he became disabled, and I saw him struggle with that difficult decision to stop working and apply for disability benefits. So I've seen firsthand what it's like to stop working and apply for disability and all of the emotional and financial issues that go along with it. And that's why I decided I'd be a disability attorney.
Wow, I'm really happy that you do this because I personally have met people, and some of these are professionals. I know someone who is actually a CPA who is significantly disabled, but even with very physical and obvious disabilities, he was unable to get his claim approved without intervention by a specializing attorney. So I really applaud you for choosing this area of expertise to practice in. And I just want to ask you, this is very important. There has to be, and what is the golden rule of disability that the carriers need to follow in every claim?
Well, let me tell you what they actually follow.
Oh, that's better to know.
All right. Disability insurance companies are in the business of collecting premium and buying real estate.
Of course they are.
They want to make money. The golden rule is they take your gold and then they rule that you're not entitled to your disability benefits. That's the golden rule that disability insurance carriers apply to most disability insurance claims.
But isn't that every insurance company? They want to collect their monthly premiums, but they don't like paying out for when a claim needs to be approved. How is that any different?
Well, when you buy a disability insurance policy, you're buying peace of mind for your financial security, for yourself and your family. And you expect that the disability insurance carrier is going to pay you the disability benefits. You think that when you fill out that application and you send it in, there's going to be a FedEx check that arrives the next day.
You mean that doesn't happen?
That doesn't happen.
Oh,
that's why we're here.
That's really what I think most people think. When does their money start rolling in and, hey, can that be deposited to my bank account? And unfortunately, life is not that fluid and easy, is it?
No, it isn't. And you know, I see that the disability insurance carriers will prey on disability applicants because there are three general mistakes that applicants will make. Would you like to know what they are?
I would love to know what they are, because that's why we're here, right? To dispel myths and get things done and approved. We need to help people through their crisis.
So I think of it as PMP. What does that mean? The first mistakes that people make involve the policy. They don't know what is in their policy. But one of the key terms in a disability insurance policy is something called a discretionary clause. Do you know what that is?
I don't. You need to tell me.
That discretionary clause says that the disability insurance company gets the right to not only decide the terms of the policy, but whether or not you're disabled. And it becomes a golden handcuff that prevents a federal judge from overturning that disability denial. It's really tough if you've got that discretionary handcuff clause in the disability insurance policy.
What is the third?
Well, let's talk about the second.
Oh, we're still on the second.
The second problem is that people just don't understand what's in their medical records and whether their doctor supports their claim. And as a result of not knowing what's in that medical record, many times people will pick the wrong date to become disabled, or they may think that the doctor supports their claim, but when the doctor's asked to fill out these forms called attending physician statement forms, the doctor says they can work. And the last time, or the worst time you want to find out that your doctor doesn't support your claim is when that doctor's filling out attending physician statement forms for you.
Why would a doctor not work with the patient they're helping?
Doctors didn't go to medical school to learn how to write reports for disability insurance companies. They're interested in practicing medicine. That's one of the things I want the disability applicant to know before they apply for disability benefits. Does your doctor support your claim, and will that doctor fill out that attending physician statement form?
Do you find that physicians are willing to discuss it with their client or their patient on how to help them facilitate a successful claim?
Sometimes. Now, most doctors do have their own disability insurance policy, so they're familiar with disability insurance. But I think that it's important that you ask that question, because if you get an answer and the doctor says, well, no, I either don't support your claim or I won't fill out those forms, I have to tell my clients, it's time for you to find another doctor. You know, you may have the best doctor in the world, but if the doctor doesn't support your claim, then you don't have a case.
But why would a doctor refuse to fill out these forms? Don't they have an obligation to help their patient?
Well, they do have an obligation, but no one's holding a gun to their head to say, yes, you've got to fill out these forms. So, unfortunately, there are times when doctors just won't cooperate. But you need to know that before you apply for disability benefits.
That is so unconscionable why anyone would harm. To me, that's harming someone to just be able to live and pay their bills.
Well, another mistake that I see applicants make is, I call it the practical problems. And can you imagine what those practical problems are?
How could it be practical? What would those problems look like?
Well, you have a cell phone, right?
Of course, don't we all?
And what do you do on your cell phone?
Everything. They're smartphones.
Right, and they're smart, and you play games, and you do social media, like Facebook. So one of the things I suggest is that you turn off all of your social media. And in fact, that you don't let your relatives comment about you or post photographs, because disability insurance carriers will do an investigation of your social media posting. So I tell my clients, no. We are going to pull the plug and you're going to be disconnected from social media.
That's an excellent tip. They've heard that so many problems can arise by divulging too much of your day-to-day on social media for a variety of reasons. Can you just give me one example of a claim that sticks out in your head before we have to wrap up?
Sure. I've had the honor of representing a female Marine Corps major who had a distinguished service, and when she retired, she became employed at a defense firm in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, she had a stroke, and when she applied for disability benefits, the insurance company said, it's all in your head.
That's horrible.
It's psychiatric. It's not organic. Ultimately, we filed an appeal. We filed a lawsuit. And for the first time, Vivian, the disability insurance carrier got to meet my client. And I said to them, Marines don't cry.
So you do a great benefit, not just to every American who ends up being your client, but to those who have served keeping America safe. Thank you so much, Nancy. That has been extremely informative to everyone who needs this help.
Thank you.